Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let me make sure my audio levels are good here. We are us, and I think we've had the worst of it. And so this is going to be really interesting because the DC6 was actually used for hurricane hunting historically. So that's pretty cool. Let me turn this light down a little bit. It seems a little bright. Let's see if that helps a little bit. These lights are a little bit bright today. Okay, that should help. Still working out some things with the live streaming situation. But yeah, this is a pretty complex airplane, and this is going to be very, very interesting. To see how this goes. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm in Tampa right now, and actually if I go back to the main menu, you guys can see like where exactly we're at in relation to the storm, which is really cool that it shows it on here in the Microsoft Flight Simulator main menu. If I go to the world map, you can see where the storm is at. So that gives you guys a good visual of that, and I'm going to depart. As you can see, the storm worked its way from east to west, so it came this way, and now it is going up toward Tallahassee, I believe, making its way up that direction. So I'm gonna depart from Tampa, so we're gonna be like departing kind of right in the middle of it, and then head right into the eye of the storm or whatever's left of it. So I'm gonna just park us over here in the DC6. This is gonna be our departure here. And we're just going to go ahead and say we're going to arrive in Tallahassee will be our planned arrival over here. So we'll do an arrival on this runway. We're going to make sure that we are on real time, real weather. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and get loaded. I wanted to do some different liveries. Like I found some other liveries, but I have not figured out exactly how to install them yet for the DC6. So I don't have those installed yet to be able to fly those. But that's okay, we could do that another time. And this is not going to be a full DC6 tutorial or anything like that. This is just mostly to go see what happens in the storm, and we'll just be in the DC6 and see how it goes. I have no idea how it's gonna go. I've got my information up now at the altitude, the speed and heading, and I can't even imagine how the landing's going to go at this point. I'm not super familiar with the DC6, but I know enough, and it is a very, very cool machine. I just am listening to all the sound effects right now. It's just so neat, like how realistic they made this thing. It has some pretty decent reviews, so that's why I ended up getting it, and just the history. I want to learn this machine more, but what's really cool is even if you are a complete newbie and you have no idea how to fly this thing, you can actually come over to this iPad they have over here. As you can see, the weather is not good, and you can even open the window and hear the wind, and rain would be coming in, so we'll keep that shut. But it is just such a functional cockpit that they've made. Really, really cool. As you can see, even the chair in the middle. Oftentimes this was piloted by 2 or even 3 with an engineer. So the engineer could sit in that middle seat. And this is a plane that you would definitely want help with flying. Definitely 2 pilots. So let's come down to the iPad, and what we have down here, which is really cool that they did this, is we have some assistance. So if I go to AFE, I can actually go to a pre-departure before start, and we're gonna have help from a co-pilot, or engineer, let's say, help us start up the airplane. You'll actually 1,000 feet or so for the storm, or as high as possible. I have this artificial flight engineer walk us through everything, and it'll actually, you'll see him doing things in the cockpit as well, which is just kind of crazy. It's like having a ghost in the airplane with you that's helping you. But I'm fine with that.
Cockpit pre-flight.
So I'm gonna let you listen and watch.
Voice recorder.
Tested.
Oil coolers and cow flaps.
Auto and position.
Fuel and fluids.
Checked.
Pressurization.
Set.
Manifold and duct pressure.
Checked.
Radios.
Checked.
Doors and hatches.
Closed.
Door warning lights.
Out.
Gear pins.
Removed. 3 on board.
Seat belts and pedals.
Adjusted.
Throttles.
Set to idle.
Propellers.
Forward and 3. Before start checks complete.
Start engines.
Okay, so pretty neat. We have the engineer walking us through everything, helping us out there. And now we are ready to start the engines. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to come up to... Well, first we need to make sure we have our mixture. Full rich or auto rich even. That's fine too. So let's do that. And then we're going to come upstairs here. And we're going to get started with engine 3. Engine 3's, we got our booster pump already on low here. So that's great. And then we have the mags for engine 3 already set to both here, which is what we want. Then we need to make sure that our engine selector is on 3, which it is. And then we can start up engine 3, so let's listen to that. Such a cool airplane. Let's come back down here and check our RPMs, see how everything's going on our instrument panel. We are getting... Okay, perfect. We want to be at about 1,000. We're just going to go ahead and keep it there. The vibrations are also very realistic in this, which I love. You can see the needles vibrating from the engine. Let's get right into starting up another engine now. We're going to do this for each one. We'll go to engine number 2 now. Again, engine selector 2, mags for 2, engine 2 coming on. Perfect. Let's go to the next engine here. Let's go to 1. And engine 1 start. Pretty loud out there. All right, now we're going to do the last engine. I'm going to adjust some audio levels here. Perfect. Now we're going to go to engine number 4, the last engine, and then we'll get going. For those of you just joining, we're about to do some hurricane hunting, although now it's a tropical storm, Tropical Storm Nicole. We're taking off in Tampa. Nicole is not far from Tampa. It's still kind of over Tampa. We're going to be heading right into the eye of it and see what happens. Engine selector 4 now. Mags on, and let's start.
3.
You can see the vibrations there. Very, very cool. They did an excellent job with this plane. I think it is rated like 4 stars out of 5 on the marketplace for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think that they did a excellent job with this. Now that I've used it myself, I had reviewed it enough and done my research to know that it was a good enough plane to purchase. Okay, now we have our engine started, so we're gonna come back upstairs and let's turn our fuel pumps off. We don't need those anymore. Of course, we're gonna leave the mags on. Engine selector can go back to off. Great. Then if we come back down to our iPad, we can go through the after start checklist, which then you will hear them going through the after start checklist with our artificial flight engineer.
Start selected boost pumps. Off and off. Battery switch. Plane battery. Generators and inverters. Checked and on. Emergency lights. Armed. Ground power. Removed. After start checks complete.
Beautiful. So now our after start checklist is complete and we're gonna get ready to taxi back. Now I wanted to mention there's also cow flaps on this airplane. For those of you who don't know, what those basically do is they increase the airflow for the engine, and they are gonna be open for right now, but like during cruise and descent and landing, that is when that's when they would be closed basically. And as we climb, these will get adjusted. These are the cowing flaps, physical flaps that each engine has. So you can see for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just something to note there. And if I come outside the airplane, you can see them. It's these right here. So that's what those are. So that's something we'll need to be keeping in mind while we're flying, as well as our mixture, although we'll put that on auto and see how that goes. This airplane also has a very interesting autopilot. For now, let's get ready for takeoff. We're gonna put flaps down to 2. And we're gonna go ahead and get pushed back and turn off the parking brake. Okay, that's good enough for us to make the turn, and we're gonna go ahead and start turning to the left. And go get lined up for the runway. We're gonna go all the way left here. Keep going, keep going. There we go. Then let's come down here and get ready for takeoff to the iPad. We're gonna do our before takeoff checklist.
Boost pumps. Boost pumps on low. Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot and carb heat.
We are ready to
Set 20.
take
Windows
off,
and turbine.
getting here up to the runway.
Closed and on. Controls. Mixture and cowl flaps. Reach unlocked. Set. Transponder. On. Landing lights. Extended and on. Before takeoff checks complete.
Now, I have no idea if my internet's going to be good enough. Again, we are still kind of like in the storm here in St. Augustine. So I apologize if I have internet problems. Let's just see how this goes. Our checklist is complete to take off. We're going to go line up with the runway right now and take off. Landing lights going on. As you can see with our map, this is where we are right now. This is the storm right here. We're going to be heading right toward Tallahassee. Hold right here and just take a look at the windsock. Wind is coming at our back pretty hard right now, so we really want to be taking off from the other side. But we can see how it goes this way just to save time. Let's try it out. Got almost a direct crosswind, so I think we'll be okay. Ailerons into the wind to the left. I got my ailerons into the wind. Airspeed's alive. And rotate. Airplane's going to want to crab into the wind now to the left, as you can see. And we are off the ground in these terrible weather conditions. Gear up. And flaps up. Let's take a look at our map as we maintain this climb. We are headed just about the right way. We want to go a little bit to the left. We're going to see how Microsoft does simulating the storm. And we're probably going to be climbing to about 20,000 feet. 20,000 feet. We'll see how that goes. This is pretty ugly. And we're going to come down to our cruise checklist here from our engineer.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
Except we're not going to set cruise power. We're going to keep climbing. We'll just turn that off, actually, because I don't want them to mess with our throttle. We'll wait until we're ready to cruise for that. Now we're headed the right way. Basically want to maintain this course. I mean, I could be wrong about the cruising altitude. We might end up wanting to go lower. Let's just see. Let's see where we break out of these clouds at. We're coming up on 6,000 feet. We also do... Is our mixture on auto? Mixture should be okay on auto. A little concerned about that working, but... Completely IFR now, can't see a thing. And there we go, we're breaking out of the clouds. So we are now over Tropical Storm Nicole. Probably climb and maintain about 10,000 feet. That's what it looks like we're gonna want to be at. And we'll figure out where the center of this thing is on the map. The center's somewhere in here right now. It's gonna be the strongest part of the storm coming up. Again, for those just joining, we're making our way from Tampa to Tallahassee over Tropical Storm Nicole live. Just passing 8,000 feet. We're gonna level off at 10,000. Climbing like crazy right now. Aircraft is very well equipped. It's got fully functional VOR capabilities. If you're not familiar with VOR, I did a whole tutorial on it on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna close these a little bit as we climb. Also, the iPad monitors some of these systems for you, which is really neat. If you go to like engine stress, you could see cylinder head temperatures. It's within icing range. Carb, you know, we might want to turn our carb heat on. So these are all things like that can be monitored from the iPad as well, which is really neat. And let's come up here. We're gonna get our heating systems going. We could go ahead and turn the landing light off. And we're just about at 10,000 feet. So now we're gonna go to our cruise checklist. Oh, we don't want, okay. Give me a second here. I did not do that right. Let's see if he does it for us. So I do not know this machine well enough.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
We're gonna level off right here with the autopilot. And what we'll do is, you know, for hurricane hunting, they'll actually fly down into the storm, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a pass into the storm and then climb back out, just to make it more realistic. I believe they actually fly through the eye. I don't know how much of an eye is left of Nicole now.
Cruise checks are complete.
Okay, we want to turn a little bit to the left. We got a little off course here, which we can do with this right here. And then while this is happening, I'm going to actually put in manual flight here. Pretty soon we'll be diving down into the storm. I want to see what kind of approaches we have. Probably do like an RNAV approach at Tallahassee when we end up there. So I'm just looking at options here to get ready for that. And let's see what the winds are doing in Tallahassee as well. Winds from the north, okay, so probably want to land let's see what our options are here. Alright, so we've got 3-6 and 18. We'll land 3-6 since winds are from the north. And we can do an approach here. It's an RNAV 3-6 approach. That's just what I'm going to be following. So I'll keep that handy. Cool. We should be like headed the right direction now. All right, now we're getting out into the worst part of the storm. Let's try, our engines are in with icing range, so let's just see. This helps a little bit. Not sure if that's the right. Should be the carb heat. Maybe we'll just leave those alone. I mean, we seem to be running fine, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm excited to get to know this airplane more. As you can see, there's a lot going on in it. Try not to get overwhelmed. There's a ton of information out there by the designers of this airplane. They did an incredible job making it. So yeah, PMDG is the company who did this, and they themselves have some incredible information out there that could help you fly this airplane if you're interested in getting this. It's a really, really well done Douglas DC-6, and this was a widely known airplane, very historic, even for airliners. So the history is very cool. It's magnificent. I hope PMDG designs more aircraft because they did such an incredible job. Their website is pmdg.com, just for those who want to know. All right, let's check on our map, and we're gonna dive down into the storm here and do a pass. Oh, we're getting off course. I guess that because that wasn't straight. As soon as we get back on course here, I forgot to. So if you don't put this back straight, it'll just keep turning without you noticing. Something to keep in mind, although like I said, it will track a VOR for you if you want to track a VOR. Airplane's perfectly capable of some much better autopilot capabilities. I'm doing things pretty manual right now. Looks pretty dark down there. We're going to be diving down into that in a second, just for research, of course. And actually, we'll be on a better course now to go through the worst part of the storm. Soon as we get lined up, I'm going to increase our bank here so that we turn a little bit quicker. Alright, we're going to get ready to descend down and do a pass through the clouds. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to turn off our maintain altitude, which should give us the ability to descend, which it is. And here we go, my friends. We're going to lose some altitude. Start coming back down. Little bit slower. Picking up quite a bit of speed here. Let me turn this off. So we don't go over speed. This is terrifying. Can't imagine doing this in real life. We're descending down to 9,000 now. Coming down from 10,000 almost to 9,000. I would imagine around 6,000-7,000 we're going to end up in the clouds here. We also have some even more scary clouds ahead we're going to be going through. Yeah, man, we're as you can see, we're headed right into the worst of it right now, from Tampa to Tallahassee. Coming down to 8,000 feet. Oh, it's about to get pretty nasty up ahead. Oof, here we go. Buckle your seatbelts. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. $7,000. Oh, buddy. I don't know what's gonna happen here. This is about to get really dark. Alright, I want to level off here. Just for a second, let's see what 7,500 does up ahead. It looks like we're about to enter into some nasty stuff here. I would imagine it's gonna get pretty bumpy. Full interior as well here. It's pretty wild. It's so cool that they did that. Absolutely incredible. As you can see it, let me slow down the drone. It's going way too fast. Slow it down a little bit. You can see some of the details in here that they have. Really quite remarkable. I mean, they really put the time in, which is awesome. Just floating around the cockpit. I would imagine in real life the weather would actually be much worse than it's showing now. I'm gonna put it on, because I just don't think this is accurate enough. I'm just gonna put it on storm. This is more like what we should actually be experiencing. Which is terrifying. Now this looks a lot more realistic to me for going through a hurricane. Let's see if we can climb out of it. Alright, we're gaining altitude now. I've increased the throttle. Got the autopilot set to climb. Maybe a little too much. Let me dial that back a little bit. We'll see if we can break out above this storm here. It's pretty serious stuff. It's intense. I don't know if we're going to be able to break out of this, but we have a long way to climb. Let's see if we can climb a little bit faster. Going about 140. I wonder if this airplane's in miles per hour, actually. It's older. Let's increase our pitch here. See if we can climb up a little bit faster. Check out where we're at on the GPS. Alright, we're getting off course again, so let's go. Turn a little bit this way. Start a nice gradual turn. Climbing up to 9,000 feet. Again, if I go back to live weather, just don't think it was realistic enough. I feel like this is what you would really be seeing. Come on, don't lose us here. Where are we? There we are. Alright, perfect. We're getting back on course. Oh! Little gap there. We might actually climb out of it. I'm going to straighten this out. I'll actually continue a little bit to the left. Now we just passed 10,000 feet. We might actually be able to climb out of this. I saw a little gap there a second ago. There was a clearing. Getting all the research right now, getting all the hurricane research. See what it's doing, where it's headed. Now, more recently, people that are doing the hurricane hunting, they're in a much more modern airplane now. 2 P3 turboprop aircraft. They also use a Gulfstream 4 jet. And when they fly through these storms, they can encounter devastating winds that could be over 150 miles an hour. And what they do is they fly usually into the eye and between like 8,000 and 10,000 feet above sea level. So that's what makes them collect the data safely, actually. Whoa, look at this. Whoa. So we're actually going up to 11,000 feet now. And, you know, you want to stay high enough up so that you avoid the more turbulent air below and you avoid things like hail. We've definitely got some icing happening. Let me come up here and turn these on. See if that helps anything. We're gonna turn our airfoil heater on. We've got some serious icing happening. Looks like we're now climbing out above the clouds. Right around 11,500, climbing to 12,000. This is intense stuff. Making our way to Tallahassee, so we do have a destination in mind. We're still quite a ways away from it, so we're just gonna have to manage this storm until we get to Tallahassee. Just keep collecting research. Wondering if there's anything else we can do for icing here. That is not something I'm very familiar with. I think whatever I turned on is helping. It looks like it's going away. Oh, maybe not. See if there's anything in here.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
Oh, part of it's the mixture's too lean. I thought it was on aught. Okay, we need to get that down then. Whoops.
Cruise power is set.
Why doesn't it let me adjust this? Auto lean. That's what we want. Auto lean.
Cruise checks are complete.
Some of this could be the cow flaps. Got some catastrophic cylinder head temperatures here. It's a pretty complicated machine. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Let's put these back down. Okay, we definitely want those up. I mean, maybe these should actually be more closed. The cowling flaps. Is that helping things? That is helping things. Okay, so that's part of it. Mixture 2 lean on engine 1. It's on auto lean, so I don't know what the deal with that is. It's pretty cool that they have an engine stress visualizer, though. At 12,000 feet now. Let's go ahead and level off. Now that we got some of that under control. We'll see where we're at. Still relatively on course here. Headed across the Gulf over Tropical Storm Nicole. Or in it, I should say. Cylinder head temperature is doing much better now. So it must have been the cow flaps. In fact, maybe we close them all the way. Let's see what happens. Just problem solving here on the fly. I don't really know what else I could do about that icing. So I believe, like, anything icing related I have on. Where's our fuel selector at? I was wondering where that is. Let's make our cockpit a little bit warmer. I would imagine we'd want that a little warmer. See if we can break through anything. I'm gonna keep climbing up. I mean, yeah, the job of a hurricane hunter, it's not for the faint of heart. You gotta have a pretty brave crew. They're flying into one of the most destructive forces, and hurricanes are, obviously, they form over the open ocean, and like satellites can track their movement. Meteorologists and researchers, though, they really need to sample the storms directly to get the most accurate information about them, so that's why they do this stuff. And one of the guys who does it says it's like sort of riding a roller coaster through a car wash is what it feels like, because you can't see anything out the windows in the eye wall. It's just like a car wash. Like, even in the middle of the day, you know, you're in the sun and then you get into it and it's like completely dark inside the airplane. It's raining so hard. And oftentimes they'll fly like twice a day. And so even just one airplane, like the same airplane, will go day, night, day, night, day, night for 6 days in a row. And the missions will last anywhere from 8 to 9 hours. So we're not going to do one quite that long. As you can see, we'll probably be in Tallahassee in the next hour or so. But yeah, I mean, that's like a pretty long mission that they're doing. And there have been planes and historically that did not make it, especially over the Pacific. There have been hurricane hunting planes that just completely went down over the Pacific. So very, very intense job to have. Climbing up to 13,000. 13,000 feet now. Systems are looking pretty good. It is dark in here. I have to use a flashlight just to be able to see. I don't know if there's a dome light. Let's turn these up a little bit more. See if that helps things. See if we can get these question marks to turn to normal. Not yet. Yeah, we have some like really bad icing, so I'm gonna go ahead and descend back down. Best thing you can do with icing is descend. Let's go back down to 8,000. Come on, take us down. Take us down. There we go. Pull back on the power. All right, that might be a little too fast. What is this warning here? Unsafe landing gear warning lights? I don't have the gear down. Is it just warning lights in general? I don't get it. Maybe it's saying it's unsafe because of the amount of icing we have. Yeah, we're going down. We're going down. I could see why they don't go above 10,000 feet. They usually stay between 8 and 10,000. So there you have it. Oh, look at this. We're getting a little breakthrough. Can't see anything out the window, though. Keep descending. Come on, keep descending. Let's check where we're at with our course. While we're getting yelled at by the airplane. We need to turn a little bit to the right now. Now, I have it on storm. If I went to live weather, this is what we'd be seeing with live weather, everyone. Which is good. It's much better now. Okay, perfect. I feel like we're actually in a much better place with the live weather now, so that's good. Live weather's looking pretty accurate. Coming back down below 10,000 feet. Let's put these back down. Alright, there we go. The only thing that's questionable right now is our oil temperature. Should be in better shape now that we're descending though in general. Probably level off around 8,000. Alright, let's go to cruise.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
And we should just be holding here. There we go. Warning went away.
Cruise power
Perfect.
is set.
Perfect, perfect. Now we might be turning a little bit too far to the right at this point. Yeah, we'll go a little bit back to the left.
Cruise checks are complete.
All right, now we're getting closer to Tallahassee. We're gonna be landing. What did I say before? 3.6, yeah, 3.6. We got a 7,000 foot runway. ATIS on 119.45. Let's see if we can tune into that. Can't even see the radio. It looks weird. See if we can get the weather in Tallahassee. Oh, I may have to turn on the voices in order to hear that. I don't have the voices on for the ATC. That's fine. We don't have to do it that way. I can get it another way. Pretty turbulent right now. Pretty turbulent. It's pretty bumpy. You can see the airplane bouncing around. Trying to see where we can enter in our radio nav. Maybe it would be right here. I'm probably just gonna do everything manually though with the GPS, just because I can't see anything. So if I pull up the plates, yeah, we're gonna land this thing probably in about 20 minutes or so. Oh, I'm starting to see the ocean a little bit. We want to be at about 1,600 here at this waypoint. Where are we at now? Holding at 8,000. That'll probably start descending a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna reduce power. We're gonna start coming down. This will be an interesting landing. I also have never landed this plane before, so that should make it even more exciting. $7,000. We're gonna do the RNAV for runway 36. Or the VOR DME, that's cool. $117.5. Engines are looking good. Oil pressure is not. Coming down to 4,500. Getting closer and closer to the airport here. Not a good time to land. It's gonna be like the hardest landing ever. Might not even make it. Okay, stop beeping. I get it. You're upset. I don't know what is with all the beeping. Okay. Everything is good here. We're gonna turn. Autopilot off at some point. Oops. Don't want that. Yeah, we don't want the parking brake on. Listen to that wind. It's pretty crazy. Coming down to 3,000 feet. In some pretty crazy IFR conditions. We want to go down to, yeah, actually 3,000 is a pretty good place to hold. So let's do that. And we'll go to cruise.
Set cruise power, wait. Setting cruise power.
Perfect. We want to be at 3,000 feet here, and then we're going to work our way down to the runway at a 3-degree angle.
Set.
Look at that. We finally have a visual outside of a cloud. Now this is live weather, so it's doing a pretty good job now.
Cruise checks are complete.
Before I was kind of skeptical, but it looks to be pretty accurate now. I'm gonna try to start live streaming once or twice a week. Tons of different airplanes. May even do some different games outside of Microsoft Flight Simulator, but Microsoft Flight Simulator will definitely be my focus. And I would love for you guys to participate in the Discord channel. And you can even vote on some of the streams I'm going to be doing. I'll put out a vote of 4 different options, and I do a vote to decide what one of the next flights will be. So it's a lot of fun. And I plan on doing this for quite some time and building a community of people who with, you know, like-minded interests and passions. So hope to see you participating there. Wow, look at that. I do still think I have some brightness issues. You see how bright that gets? But I don't know that it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. It actually could be NVIDIA. So I'm going to work on that later today. I'm trying to fix that. Look at that. That looks absolutely incredible. Wow. Pretty amazing. Making a shallow right turn at 3,000 feet. Heading into Tallahassee. We're going to start at this Hackett. There's also a hold there. And we're going to start here at Hackett, and then we're going to work our way down to 1,600 for Dakar. And then we'll be at a 3-degree angle down to the runway from there. I think this lands pretty fast too, this airplane, like 135, 140 we'll be touching down at. Altitude's holding at 2,500. I don't know if we have the right altimeter in, so that could be part of the problem, as it thinks we're at 3,000. Again, I didn't learn this airplane very well yet. One 7.5. I'm gonna go ahead and turn these on. I believe we're picking up the VOR now. Yeah, it looks like we are, so that's cool. How about that? It's 3:53 in. See if we can get the airplane to follow that. That would be nice. I think it's right here. Why can I not move that switch? Huh. Interesting. That's alright, I'll just do everything manually. I'm gonna do a hard right turn here. Alright, perfect. Straighten out. I know there's a way to make it fly the VOR. I actually see land ahead, so that's kind of wild. We're gonna be flying this plate now. I'm gonna try to get us lined up with these waypoints manually. You go back to the right a little bit, and we're just now headed over land. Right around 3,000 feet, although our altimeter could be wrong, so I gotta figure out where to put that in. This is just like a lot going on in this airplane. I would imagine you could put it in the Garmin, or actually you could just do it, yeah, right here. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So let's see what the ATIS is in Tallahassee. We'll get the ATIS for the weather. See what the winds are doing. Let's see, we've got winds 360 at 19, gusting to 31. Gusting to 31. Altimeter 2953. So right around here. That's better. So we're actually more at like 2,600, which is more accurate to what it's saying up above. So that makes sense. Alright, we're going to turn back to the left. Now let's do our before landing checklist.
Cooling turbine. Normal. Fuel booster pumps. On low. Fuel tank selectors. Mains on, crossfeed off. Hydraulic bypass valve. Down. No smoking signs. On. In-range checks complete. Flaps 20. Setting flaps 20.
We don't want flaps 20 yet. Don't do that yet. We're going way too fast for that. Let's maintain this altitude. Let's just stick to cruise.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power. Cruise power is set.
This is gonna be a crazy landing. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll stick it.
Cruise checks are complete.
Come a long way since Tampa. It's actually a little bit longer than I expected. Coming in for landing. We want to be at, normally we'd be at 3,000 feet here. We're much closer to 2,000, but that's fine. I don't think anyone else is flying right now in this weather. It would be great if it would fly the VOR for us, because we got it set. I know there's a way to do it. I'm pretty sure it's like right here. Somewhere. Just don't know where the switch is. That's fine. Oh, maybe, I mean, here's some nav switches here. Might have to turn this off to use them. I don't know. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the runway now. Dakar, we want to be at 1,600. I'm going to start descending down to 1,600.
Cooling turbine. Normal. Fuel booster pumps. On low. Fuel tank selectors. Mains on, crossfeed off. Hydraulic bypass valve. Down. No smoking signs. On. In-range checks complete.
I'm going to turn off autopilot here in a second. Just go ahead and turn it off. For some reason he's got a lock on my throttle. There we go. That's better. So we want to pull that back.
Flaps 20. Setting flaps 20.
Let's bleed off some speed. Still can't see the runway.
Flaps set. Masters Ridge, please. Auto Ridge. up and down.
You just put the gear down?
Gear down and locked, 3 greens. Drops.
Gears down.
2400 RPM. RPM set. Cow flaps. Plus 3 degrees. Cow flaps set. ADI. ADI off. ADI is off. Landing lights. Speed good. Extending lights. Lights extended and on. Carbine. Carbine cold. Set cold. Before landing checks complete.
Let's hope we can find the runway soon. We're a little below where we should be, but that's okay. I'm just gonna maintain this altitude. Coming in for landing here, folks. Cannot see a thing. Of course. Very bumpy. Whoa, okay. Something was happening there. I don't know what is going on. The airplane like would not let me turn to the left. So strange. I don't know what the deal with that was. See if we can try this again. I'm not doing anything other than like keeping it level. The power's set right. I don't know what the deal is. Mixture's good, like it could be the carb heat maybe. That's all I could think of. So the airplane just won't turn. It might be carb heat. That could be what happened. Again, it's just from like not knowing this airplane. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm just going into slew mode so I can like try this again. Holy crap. Oh, I know what happened there. Jeez, this is wild. It could also be that, like, the weather... Like, this is weather that you cannot land in, the plane would not be able to handle it. Maybe that's why it's falling out of the sky. That's another possibility. I'm gonna keep trying here though for a second. Yeah, it doesn't really let me turn left. We're gonna try this again. Let me give it some left rudder. Down. Flaps, maybe not so many flaps, just because it's so turbulent. See if we can find the runway here. This will be my last attempt. Yeah, could have been a microburst. I don't know. It was wild. Everything looked fine, like, on the instruments. But I do need to learn the carb heat systems better on this plane. That's kind of important when you're in these conditions. Come on, where's our runway? Should be seen at any second now. There it is, I see it. I see it! Wow, look at that. Found it. Alright, now we got a chance. That was crazy. We've made it this far. Let's see if I can get it down. Oof, it's a bumpy one. come on, come on. So uncoordinated. Really not, like, terrible though. I mean, it was like the most uncoordinated landing ever, but then right on center line. I think the wind is just like so strong that the airplane was really like hardly moving down the runway. That was much better than 5 minutes ago when we hit the ground. Not sure why. We're in rough shape. A lot of it's because of my lack of knowledge on the airplane. Alright, after landing checklist.
After landing checks complete.
We're just going to park right here. Put the parking brake on. And do the parking checklist.
Parking brake is set. Cut engines.
Cut the engines. Just cleaning up the airplane here. Pretty interesting to watch.
Parking checks complete. Airplane secured.
Wow, everything's complete. You can even open the door. If I were to like walk back there, let me see. Pretty sure this door opens. Oh, I think you do that on the iPad. And then the window, like I said before, opens. It's pretty neat. Amazing job. I'd like to learn this airplane more. Could be interesting to do more flights with this. We'll see if it wins on the vote. And if you guys want to keep seeing more DC6 stuff, then I can keep learning this airplane and get a lot better at it. Tomorrow, I'm very excited to learn and do a review on the DC3. DC3 is coming out tomorrow. That's one of my favorite airplanes of all time. So I will get right on that when that comes out. Let's come over here. Whoa. Didn't mean to do that. It's the iPad. And see what our options are. We've got also some realistic, like realism options here to make it as realistic as possible if you want. You can even do PMDG Bendix radios with no GPS. That's pretty cool. Alright, parking's complete. And then we have a ramp manager, so we could do tow bar and tractor. We could put some wheel chocks on, put the pitot covers on, engine oil pans, mechanic stands, get the ground power unit. We could do a front cabin exit, front cabin stairs. And you could even do cargo holds. We'll see what all that looks like. It's pretty neat. Look at that. So, I mean, you definitely get your money's worth here. Looks awesome when it's parked. Have the engine stands out. Staircase. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Awesome, awesome job they did with this. And there are some other liveries if you're interested. They have liveries like for the, like military ones and some airline ones, vintage airline ones. But yeah, that was interesting. Thanks for flying with me, guys. It was a lot longer than I expected. I wouldn't really expect anyone to sit all the way through that. Could just be worth maybe skimming through, checking it out. Again, the live weather at the start, I was not super impressed with, like, when I thought the weather should be worse. So that's when I put it on storm. But then when I went back to the live weather, it seemed to be very accurate. It's looking much better now here in Tallahassee, and they're getting hammered pretty hard right now by the storm. Just a tropical storm now, not a hurricane. Nothing too crazy, so hopefully everyone is okay out there. I'm glad that this storm wasn't too bad. Miami and north of Miami seems to be hit pretty hard. East Coast was taking on a lot of storm surge, so that's Florida for you. That's the tropics. I've been here my whole life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are the best. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and would love to see you on the Discord channel and participate in the vote on the community page on YouTube. I will again be trying to stream like at least once, if not twice a week, and hope you guys have a wonderful day out there. Be safe, and I will talk to you soon. Signing off for now.